Hey everyone, RogueGold here, and after the recent agent briefing that we had for the Division 2 the other week, which gave us an update on, Season 10, TU16, other things coming in the future for the game, I wanted to take this opportunity and do a dedicated video to highlight and shout out the new known issues board for the game, which we are, as you can see, on right now, the Division 2 known issues. Now, if you watched the briefing itself or my recap, you will know that they announced and showed off this new known issues board, and really, I just think it is going to be such a great tool for the community that I wanted to give it its fair due, give it a full shout out, and give kind of a walkthrough of what you can find on this board so that if you are a player of the game, you want to report issues, you want to know what's going on with the game, you could utilize it to its fullest potential and stay updated on what's going on behind the scenes. Hopefully that sounds fun. Let's get into it. The first thing I want to do is just give a brief recap for anybody who maybe didn't see the briefing or, any of the news that surrounded that stuff. The new known issues board is going to be run, as you can see up here, by a few of the different community managers and developers of the division, and basically its function and its purpose is to be able to allow the community to transparently see the bugs and issues that the devs are aware of and working on, and can kind of give a bit of a timeline and a breakdown of what their priority is, what the status is, and how close it might be to being implemented into the game. In concept, it's a really awesome idea, and while not everything has been put on here yet, and the devs have said they're still working on getting everything uploaded, it has the potential to be a really great feature for this community, in my opinion. And honestly, this is a type of thing that I haven't really seen any other games do, at least to this degree, and I think it is a really cool, innovative, and cool idea, and I really hope that it does take off, because I think it could be a really awesome thing for us to have moving forward. So, as you can see, it's just a Trello board. That's what they're using to set this all up, and I will leave a link to this in the description. I want to try and spread the link for this as much as possible, because one of the big things after that agent briefing was that some people are like, well, I don't know how to access this board. There's no link, so I want to try and get that spread around as much as I can. Maybe I'll put it in the channel description or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out, but link for this will be in the description and in the comments so you can access it yourself. But what I want to do is just kind of go over all the different categories here, give you a breakdown of what you can expect to see on this board in the future, and hopefully that'll allow you to navigate it and use it a bit easier when you visit it down the line. So they have a few different categories here, from information stuff to reported, investigating, in progress, fixed, ready, and fixed live, and that should really help break down the different types of stages and steps that they're taking. And so firstly, on the left side, you can find the information. It talks about the current season that the game is in. So this is actually really handy. You click on each of these and it breaks it down. You can see Hidden Alliance's full roadmap and different content that it brought, all the different stuff. So that's really great if you want to know what stage the game is currently in. Then they give you a breakdown on how to report bugs and issues. There's a whole breakdown here of what you can do to most effectively share that. And they tell you to do it, I think, on their forum stuff. And then that's how that can get uploaded onto this known issues board. So that's really great for anybody who hasn't gone through that process before. It gives links to all of their different social media stuff, Twitter, Instagram, all of that different stuff for you to be able to contact the devs and let them know what is going on and what your experiences are with the game. You have a patch note archive for the most recent updates, and once TU16 and other stuff comes out, they'll update it with those. Game plan is kind of silly in my opinion, but you can access that if you need to. And then they have a way to check the current server status. So even though the game already has a pretty strong online presence across Reddit, Twitter, all that different stuff, what this known issues board is really doing is not only giving us new tools in order to track the game's progress and find out what's going on with the live game, but it's also a bit of a hub for everything else. There's links to everything, there's explanations for how to report stuff, all of that, and it's because of that consolidation that I think this is going to be so useful. So the rest of this is kind of self-explanatory. They have this category here which lets you know, it says at the top that issues have been reported and the team is aware. That is what this category means. It doesn't mean it's actively being worked on yet, or maybe they're still looking for the cause or whatever. I guess that would be investigating. But one thing that's really nice across all of these different categories is that it tells you what their priority is. So in the reported category, we have that the Delta errors have increased by 2% after TU 15.2. It tells you what the most impacted platforms are, what the priority is on the issue for this one. It's critical, and that's pretty important because connectivity to the game is pretty important. But then also you can see right here, if you actually go into each of these different things, it gives you more information. And one of the reasons that I think this is underreported is that the recent investigation has concluded that PC crashes have dropped by more than 60% after TU 15.4, and then it says more fixes are to come with TU 16. So it's just super nice that we have this option now to see each of these different issues that we may be experiencing with the game. You can get this information about what their current status is, what the devs' plans are for it moving forward, and I think the transparency is just really awesome. Two different ones here that I'm really glad to see they're investigating are the potential for removing expertise and SHD levels from non-invaded dark zones. You can see the priority is pretty high on that, so that's really cool. And then they're also, of course, looking into the shrapnel trap being too powerful. That's something that a lot of us have been saying for a long time. And you can see right here again, we are investigating possible solutions to this issue, but if none are found, we'll consider deactivating the shrapnel trap skill in PvP, but keeping it available in PvE, planned for TU17 or later. So that's pretty far off, and that's actually kind of unfortunate to see, but at least we have that transparency. Whereas before, you're having to ask different devs on Twitter, maybe you get an answer, maybe you don't, maybe it's kind of vague. This just really consolidates everything and gives everyone a board to go to get their answers, and I find that really cool. One thing that I posted to Twitter the other day that maybe you saw or maybe you didn't, was that they actually have a bit of news here for the TU16 PTS, is that they plan to increase the cap on all materials for the new update, and that's really cool. You can see planned for the TU16 PTS, and of course the greater update for that, they're going to increase the cap on the different materials to kind of go in line with the ones that they did in TU 15.2, I believe, where they increased all of these to 9,999. Now, all of these other ones are going to be raised up to 999. All the different optimization materials are being increased as well, and that should be really nice just to get everything up in line with itself and make more sense, when you're playing through the game. And so that should be really cool that that's coming. And again, it's stuff like that you can get kind of insights into what's coming in the future that I think is what's really nice about this board overall. Of course, last up here you have the fix ready category stuff that is already being ready to be put into the game. Some of this stuff was already done a while ago, I think. We'll be updating that to do additional reproduction steps identified. So again, if you want updates on some of the issues that you yourself are experiencing in the game, this board is going to be a great place to check that in the future. Of course, right now there is nothing in the fixed live category, but the devs did say that this board is not yet complete, and they have a lot more stuff they're going to add to it. I think the agent briefing recently was just a great spot to introduce it, and so this is something that's going to continue to expand and evolve over time. That's about all I have for this one, guys. I just want to give you a quick walkthrough and highlight, really, of the Trello board here, the new Division 2 known issues board. I think if the devs can really commit to updating this and keeping it relevant over time, this could be a great feature for the community, and honestly is something that should be setting a precedent for what other games should do as far as keeping transparency with their communities, because I think this is a really great tool for both the devs and the players to be able to connect and keep the game up to date and keep everyone in the loop of what's going on. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and be sure to subscribe with notifications on so you can be updated every time I upload. Let me know your thoughts about this new Division 2 known issues board. What do you think about its introduction to the community? Do you think it is going to be a good tool for the players to be able to keep up with the status of different issues that they may be experiencing in the game? Do you think there are any potential downsides to this? I know on paper it seems like it's pretty great, but I suppose I could see a scenario where people get certain ideas from what's posted on here, and then if that doesn't actually come to fruition, they could get pretty upset about that. I don't know if that's actually something that's very possible to happen, but if you all have any thoughts on that, I of course will be very curious to read through them all. But yeah, I believe that is going to do it for me today, everybody. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and until the next one, guys, RogueGold out.